What's up, everybody? Happy Father's Day. I want to wish a happy Father's Day to all the fathers, grandfathers, brothers, friends, anybody that has helped somebody in their life. Whether you're a father or not, if you stepped up and tried to help somebody in their life and became a father role to them, happy Father's Day. This video is basically for the people that you be scrolling through. They're going to be scrolling through all the Father's Day TikToks and videos and stuff like that. And there's going to be times that we don't have a family to do anything for us on Father's Day, or we just don't have the funds, or your kids live somewhere else and you didn't get a phone call. You were still loved. You have a father. Whether you have an earthly father still alive, you have a father up above that's watching everything that you do. Fatherhood is one of the biggest blessings. Now, if I was to die tomorrow, I always wanted to be a zoologist. I wanted to work with animals and stuff like that. And fly jets. I wanted to go to NASA, and I wanted to do all this stuff. And that was important to me. I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to see the world. I want to do everything. And then life happens and stuff like that, and your plans change. And then you have, you start looking at life and you're like, oh man, that's not happening. Here we go, da da da. And you go through this little, and then you learn to, I guess, just survive and make it. And I was at a point in my life before I got married, that I kind of felt that way too. Coming out of the Marine Corps, when you come out of the Marine Corps, you're so set on being a Marine and doing all that stuff for the rest of your life. And then you come out, whatever the case is, you come back to the real world out here. And you try to go pursue all that stuff, whether you go to college or whatever the case is. And some people make it, some people don't. You always hear about these veterans that take their lives on a daily basis. And it's true, because we go through so much different, it's madness, the different, it's like a roller coaster of emotions. And that changed for me when I became a father. When I became a father, I didn't have those aspirations anymore. If I was going to walk on the moon or whatever the case is, or save the planet, or, discover some kind of new species of an animal, that stuff didn't matter to me anymore. I wanted to be a hero for my kids. And I've worked hard for that. I had a good example of a father for me in my life, and some good friends and pastors and stuff like that you're just honored to be in their presence, So it's okay if your aspirations change, For me, they did. It doesn't mean that you have to give up on life or whatever the case is, or whatever you want to do. If you do want to be a zoologist, you can be it. But I just focus on being a father, being there for my kids. The other day we went out for some drinks with some other friends, because they couldn't make it next week is my birthday, and it falls in the middle of the week, so they couldn't do that. So some of them came out with me on Friday. And for the people that truly know me, they know that I'm a homebody. Once I got married and my kids and stuff like that, that's all that matters to me. Cooking with them, spending time with them, being in the house, even if we don't talk, just being around them. I'm in awe every single time I look at all my kids. When my other daughter comes over, because she's married now, I'm blown away, I'm really proud of that. And I'm not the best father. I'll admit. We get into arguments and stuff like that, and I say some stupid things sometimes too. I was born in the 70s. We have a different way of speaking, talking, and thinking. We don't follow all the trends and what's going on with the politics and the social movements and all that stuff. We say it how it is. We don't have any. We didn't come up with new words for different things, and I'm not going to go on a rant on that. But that has caused some bumps in the road. But I love my daughters. I have 4 daughters. And like I said, I just watch them. I can stare at them and they'll tell me, they're like, what are you looking at, Dad? What are you looking at? Why are you staring at me? But it's because I love them so much, you know? as I as I said, I hope you have a happy Father's Day. And know that you're loved. Know that you're special. Know that you have value. Now, if some people choose not to speak to you, whatever the case is, don't devalue yourself. They're missing out. So with that, I'm going to keep this short. Like I said, I just wanted to say happy Father's Day. Hopefully, if you're going in, if you're down in the dumps or whatever the case is, or if you're out there doing all those stuff, my lights are going off, on and off, and having a good time, you know. For those that are going to be spending some time with their families and stuff like that, keep in mind your other friends. Check up on them. This is Men's Health Month. I kind of saw that on TikTok. I caught it on the last part. And that's important to check on your friends. You know, just because we're men doesn't mean that we don't need some kind of motivation or inspiration, or just say, you know what, hey, I love you. Learn to say I love you more as a father too. And if you have a father and he's still alive, you know what? Like I said on my other video, I'd give my left arm just to be in the presence of my father. To hear him laugh. To have him look at me again and smile. Do different things that maybe to him wasn't really important, but was important to me. I would give everything for that. So that would be an amazing Father's Day gift for me. But that's later down the road, hopefully. Not so close, especially on the cusp of being 50. I want to make it to 50. So I know he's up there. I know he's with me every single day. I can feel him. I can sense his presence, especially when I need a little bit of help on a certain day, or whatever the case is, or whatever I'm going through. Or if I want to find some kind of validity in what I'm doing, if he's proud of me. Knowing that, or hearing myself say that, I'm going to go inside and just tell my kids I love them. Just say, hey, you know what, I love you. Hey, you look beautiful. Hey, you're gorgeous. Hey, you want to sit down and talk about this? Hey, let's go get an ice cream. I'm not big on gifts and stuff like that for me. I'm not big on big parties and everything like that. Like they threw me this big cholo party. But yeah, we had fun. And yeah, we had some great memories there. But the best memories I've had on this planet, standing or living in this planet, is the day my daughters were all born, the day that my daughters walked into my life, all 4 of them, the day that each of them planted a seed in me of growth and change to be a better man. And when they tell me that they love me, you know, like the other day, my daughter just came in there and she said, hey, you know what? Do you need a hug? Bam, bro. Dang, man. Hijo de su. I was like, the thing with me, I can't hide what's in my face, like when I'm speaking or when I'm if you're in front of me, if I'm mad, you're gonna know it. If I'm sad, you're gonna know it. And my eyes started tearing up, and I'm like, yeah. And she gave me a hug, and then I closed the door, and I was in my office. Man, I just started bawling, bro. Because I remembered her as a little baby girl. You know, I couldn't get her off of me. She was always clinging to me. All of them were. But, you know, life, they start to grow, they start to walk, and they start to have their own lives and stuff like that. But when they come back and they just tell you something like that or give you a hug out of the blue, it means the world. So if you watch this, like I said, happy Father's Day to you. If you have a father, do the same. It makes an impact. So let's light up the world with love, you know? The funniest thing is when someone's lived in the dark so long, and it's like the Christians that come out of prison and whatever the case is, they're like, hey, you know, they're running around and you think they're crazy. And you look at them, you're like, dude, what the heck's wrong with him? But it's because they're appreciative of the change in their lives. Whether you're religious or not. Whether you were incarcerated or not. Freedom. just explodes, and your heart explodes. It grows this big, and you appreciate things, especially when it's taken away from you. So with that, I gotta go. As always, I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of all this journey with me. Thank you for bearing with the ups, the downs, the mess ups, the slurs, whatever the case is. Moscas flying around that I'm trying to swat and kill, but I can't. I just appreciate you being here. So we'll see you tomorrow. Deuces.